59.
The world's fastest streetcar, proven undeniably, no resistance to it. You can't disprove it. It is what it is. Drive this car to lunch after you did that. Pro mods don't do that. There, not there, and not there. The world's fastest streetcar, proven undeniably, no resistance to it. You can't disprove it. It is what it is. Tom Bailey's car is coming here right now because we're gonna work on a street tune and do some valve spring changes. So he's coming up right now. So check this whole thing out. You gotta push it in. All right, so after jockeying this thing around for a dead golf cart, this is it. 570s, like a bracket car right now, 263 mile an hour. Street car. In fact, after he did all that, drove the car to lunch. Raced it, goes 570s. Says, oh, cool, pack the parachutes, drive this car to lunch after you did that. Pro mods don't do that. So anyways, we're just doing some street tune on it. I haven't been into the street tune portion of this in a while, and just concerned about it. We're not going to be making any big power pulls, so sorry to disappoint. But I am going to be doing a spring upgrade and change. It's actually not an upgrade, it's a changeover. I'll explain some more about that to you as we get through it. And obviously, this is the OG, the original, back in 2019 and then 2020. Same engine. When I say same engine, this is the same engine that went, the same block, the same crank, same cylinder. This is the same engine that went 577, 260 in 2020 actually, and was the first car in 2019 in the fall, September 2019 at Drag Week. First car after the entire drag and drive event went 599, 260. Then a couple months later, we went back down to Florida and went 577, 260. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It went 599, 250 at Drag Week. It's 577, 260 in 2020. This engine is the same engine. It is hard, you know, we've gone through it several times for freshen up rods, valve train, valves, pistons, the normal stuff, but it is the same engine. So I always think that's impressive. And now we finally gotten everything figured out. They've done a great job of it, of getting everything figured out on the car. I haven't been directly tuning the car for the last couple of years, and that's cool. They've done a fantastic job and gotten that all going on their own. And with Greg, God darn it. Sorry, Greg. Shoot, totally forgot your last name. I'm sorry, Greg. Powery, there we go, Greg Power. So anyways, everything's cool. So we're gonna start working on the valve spring change, and I'll talk to you about that as we're doing it. Air in the cylinder off. I don't think we're ever gonna have to be doing this again. Well, this is you've never broken a spring on a drive or anything, right? We never had. This particular, all SMXs are the same. They all have the same spring. They all have the same rocker arm. They all have the same camshaft. All have the spring retainer keeper. This car never breaks one. When Cletus had his engine in there, he couldn't drive it 50 miles without breaking a valve spring. So, what we're doing here is I'm changing the spring design. So this is actually, so these springs are top shelf. They're like, this is the spring. This is Super Billy Bad Boy. And what ends up actually, what I think it is they end up being too good a spring. They're made to live 10,000 RPM. Woo, party time. They don't freaking care. Driving at some RPM at like 2,500, 2,300, somewhere in that weird little range, they get so unhappy they break. They never break racing. They only break driving. You've never had a problem breaking them though, which is, it's got to be something of engine RPM that you're cruising at that nobody else does.
Yeah, the only time we've broke them is like when the car was down in
Rusty.
Florida for a long time and they had rust. Anywhere
Yeah.
where there was rust,
Yeah.
they would tend to.
Yeah, they'll break with rust, so you gotta be careful with them, or you can use the Smoil oil. But anyways, that's only been every time that this car has ever had a spring problem was because it was rusty.
Right.
But like I said, they are. I know it for a fact. I'm the one that puts them on. They all have the same spring, and all the same everything. So why that is, I'm not 100% sure. I think you're at a higher RPM driving down the road. What are you at?
2,000 to
3,000?
to, yeah, not above 3,000, 2,000 to 25, 2,600.
Yeah. So this spring is super good. It's a smaller spring. It has a lower frequency rate, which means it has more availability to go back to its neutral position. And so they're really, really happy with big lifts and high RPM. They're not happy, apparently not happy, can be not happy, let's put it that way, can be not happy at low RPM. It seems odd, but it is what it is. So we're going to actually go backwards and put
Because these are double springs
double
and
springs.
you're putting triple springs.
And so we're
on.
putting a triple spring on it. So each spring, each coil has less load on it. I do have two springs that we're going to be using for it. And believe it or not, I actually have a spring that actually is a higher spring pressure. It has a 770 ramp, 770 pound rate spring, which is actually slightly higher than this spring. So it's a triple, and it's actually bigger than this spring
Yeah,
for
but
your
then-
car. My car, because I don't ever turn that kind of RPM, I'm just putting the 1248 spring on it, which is the same, basically all the same spring pressure as this one. The one I'm actually putting on your car is the PSI 1247, which is actually a bigger spring than this. But it needs to be bigger because it's bigger. That's the whole deal about it.
But what's that mean for, like, obviously everything with spring pressure has to do with like on the drivability on the street and that durability of the fact that that pressure is on those lifters, on those rocker arms all the time because it just increased that. So what's that do for?
Okay, so the increase rate is, man, the technical. You just go back and sit in the driver's seat and. Let me go. I'll go get you the rates. I have this all figured out, but I don't have it memorized yet. It is so that the spring that we're putting on it with a 770 rate. So that's a rate of pressure, same seat pressure. So seat pressure, I think, is a little more concern, or a little more of our concern. And I think our open pressure is going to be, well, I know it's 1,070. And I think this, and I'll go back and look at this spring because I think this spring is like 970 or 980, something like that. So it's about 100 pounds more open pressure. Same seat pressure. So therein, it has to have a higher rate going from here to here. That's the higher rate. So,
Oh, and because my whole reason for asking is I don't have valve train issues. So like that's it. I haven't broke a rocker arm.
I know,
Other
but
than
I-
the spring being rusted, haven't had to replace lifters. Like none of that's happened. We've burned up pistons, and we've
well, that
broke
was because the
plenty of
line.
stuff.
That's because the line came off. But
So and we had
I know, but
we had a valve, a brand new valve, tulip
Right.
break off. But
Yeah.
but other than that, like that's all been good.
I know,
So
but we've talked about it now.
Right.
So once you talk about it, then you have to change
Two
it.
things fighting. Don't break what's not. Don't fix what's not broken.
And don't
but
talk
also now
about
you
what's
talk
yeah.
about
Don't
it,
talk
so-
about what doesn't break.
So,
It's too late. Now we screwed it. I think this. I feel better about this is the better way to go
gotcha.
for all avenues.
Cool.
And if there wouldn't have been like Cletus, and Clark has never broken one either. But if it wasn't been for Cletus and myself, I have broken 3 springs in the 2 drives for 6 week and 6 summer. So
Well, and I guess-
and it could have been a batch thing. It could have been something like that. So these are new springs also. So we don't have the drive on these either.
Right.
So maybe this whole thing has been a batches of springs
Well, and that's,
and they just changed.
but that's the same thing we had
But I
with the
can't check
valve.
it.
When a valve tulip broke off, we took perfectly good valves out because we thought it would be better to replace
Yeah, we
all
put
the valves.
put
and
brand
then
new
drop
valves
the
in it
valve 10
on the
miles from
drive.
first track.
Yeah, on the drive,
I mean,
to 2,500 RPM or whatever.
so,
Yeah.
but then I guess the advantage is obviously now that there's a handful of these out there, then I guess you're learning the same way anybody else
2
learns.
handfuls.
So
2 handfuls.
that are actually using them. But like,
There's an amazing amount of engines that are not in finished cars. But
so obviously, I mean, we're doing a change because of what other people experienced, not because what we experienced. So hopefully,
we're doing it as a
It's learning.
preventative
right.
medicine.
Hopefully, we're learning as a group to where I had
That's-
to
that's
learn
the whole
solo
point.
for a very long time.
That's what we learned solo for a long time. Yes, we did. So there was a whole lot of learning solo. But I do feel this is the safer way of being. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to do it. This spring does the same as that spring. The difference between this spring and that spring is that this spring does it easier because it's a triple instead of a double, but it's not as light as that spring. So technically, see, no, see, that doesn't make. I'm trying to make this make more sense to everybody. So, what's a different color? It is a different color, yeah. For this spring, it's easier for this spring to do everything than that spring to do everything and the drive. Is that better?
Would you want me to say it so it's easier?
Go ahead.
That spring split 50-50 between both of them. This one, it's split in a third.
And a third.
So
It's
each
just
spring
easier.
is only doing a third of the work. There,
Yep,
each
see?
spring's doing half the work.
So we're gonna have Bailey come, and every time I get stumped on a tech question, I'm gonna have him speak the layman language.
He's the translator.
The translator, and I'm usually the translator on all this stuff. They'll just, when they go together like butter when they're right, and they just, when they're not right, they don't. If there's any kind of rock here at all, don't put it together. Something's wrong. They just should go and feel real nice. Okay? So this is how the whole, it's called sewer lid system, how this works. This is the lash cap, okay? Because this is a titanium valve without a hard tip. So lash cap needs to go on all the way. There is only minimal amount of stack up clearances that are there. So you can see here, the groove for the valve and the groove for the keeper If they're lined up, they're lined up, and it goes together like a dream. Like that. If it's not, they'll be crooked and it won't even look right, and it does not go together right. Just make sure that lash cap is all the way down. That's the only thing. You cannot put this on every valve. It has to be, the valves need to be made for this style lash cap and keeper combo. And then that's what it looks like when it's all together. So you can see there, I don't have my glasses on me, the little slits in there, little slit there, the little gap, very important. You can see the keepers are both level. There's nothing going on. There's a nice little gap there. Everything looks good. Yeah, cool. Sometimes this lash cap is really tight too. So see, like even on this lash cap, I can't turn it on this valve either. This is all brand new.
Oh, really?
It's just every once in a while they're just tenths of a thousandths tighter. They don't want to turn. All right, last two rockers going on. Got that side put back together. And so now we're ready to finish hooking up the rest of the hub dyno. And then we're gonna start working on some street tune. I'll show you some stuff. All right, so as I'm just looking at the current tune that's in here, and then just trying to figure out, make sure I can see what's all going on. There's no IAC on this, so it has idle spark turned on. Okay. Then this is fuel, is not a combo fuel. There's a fair amount of fuel out there. Okay. So the heat colors on this is red. Closer to red is the less amount of fuel. These are the most amount of fuel. Now this is a street tune, so there's no, in order to make sure that it doesn't accidentally get run or something on purpose, or somebody's not paying attention, there's no timing in it. So it just flat out really wouldn't want to run. If it ever tries to even make more than 5 pounds of boost, it just pretty much won't run. Actually, it needs to be a lot less than that, but something like that. So we got target AFR and then our timing, and then this I haven't changed yet, but I'm going to, because that's not actually really enough timing for it to run like that. So here's your deal. Hot EGTs, so hot cylinder temperature. There's the only way, let's see here. This is hot EGTs always come from too much fuel and not enough timing, or lots of power and lean. How's that grab you? But in low RPM, no load position, the only reason EGTs are hot is because there's not enough timing and there's too much fuel. So, and it just gets hot inside the pipe. When you see glowing header pipes, that is from no timing. Period. Or excessive, or really, really, really long run time. Putting on the last pipe, and then we'll start the thing. So that's a little tidbit for you. That's timing. So we're going to start working on the timing, making sure that nothing else is getting affected by it, like it's got a timing multiplier or anything that's doing something while it's driving down the road you don't know about. So we'll just start looking at that kind of stuff and see what's going on, and we will simulate just driving down the road. So we'll set it at 70 mile an hour, and just drive, and then stop, take off like you're taking off from a stop sign, that kind of bull crap, and we'll do the whole thing. That's a lot of. That's just. It's actually a pretty heavy load right there. So.
Like you'd be pulling a trailer.
Actually, it's a little bit heavier than a trailer. You can hear it, and I can see where it's at on the fuel map. So just trying to get at different spots on the fuel map here, different load positions, running through the gear. And I think we just ran out of fuel. Is why all of a sudden it's like, hey, all of a sudden won't.
The headers were glowing for a little bit there.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle
Trying to not
middle
have the
third
heads glow.
that you were doing.
Yeah, but it was still. But the EGTs are still cooler though.
Yeah, I was surprised they were glowing with how cool it was.
Yeah. Idle's nice. Idle's in gear, about the same RPM. You hear that, Aiden? Burp, burp, you know, try to get it right there. Tips in really good. The tip in's a little tough on this because it's got when you have twin throttle bodies on it, it's like having a great big throttle body. And the real light tip in where it's like 1-2%, it hasn't hit the fuel acceleration tables yet. It's such a small amount, it doesn't actually hit the tables yet. So it's not quick enough. It's not quick enough to get to one. It doesn't change the map in the other, and it doesn't do your TPS versus what the heck is that? TPS versus rate of change. It doesn't hit that either. So there's this little teeny weeny like just that it's unhappy with. Here, fine. Here, fine. That's hard. But I think I got most all of that. I just want to fill it back up here with fuel. We definitely got the EGTs down 1350.
But better than it was, for sure.
Yeah, I was seeing like 1600, 1700. So that's all fine there. The glowing is probably just because it's got quite a bit of load on it, and it just is what it is. Yeah, we'll just put some fuel in it because I think it just ran out of fuel. It doesn't make any fuel pressure anymore, so it either doesn't have fuel or doesn't have a fuel pump anymore. So, anyways, we're just working it. So, AE tables look like craziness. Like these are AE acceleration tape, almost the same table. Especially this one for TPS versus rate of change. Tipping is crazy right there, and all this stuff is almost identical to methanol. But this is a really small injector. It's a small injector that's underneath the intake manifold. Must have the right, let's go over here and look at it. It must have the right fuel injector end table on there. Yep. Yeah, it's got the right end table information. Okay. Yeah, so I mean it's working really well right through here. So we just want to make sure it's taking more fuel than what I actually would have figured, which is no problem. But yeah. Anyways, I think it's pretty good. I mean, works nice when you can just load and it just has a steady load because it's eddy current dyno. So it's just applying a load, 70 mile an hour, and can accelerate through, loads through. So it's all pretty nice. So anyways, that's what it takes. And it would still possibly take just a little bit. If I ride with them, for 10, 20 miles, usually you get it like really, really good. But I've been trying to stop, start, neutral, go through some gears, steady state at different RPMs. So trying all that stuff. Now let's see if our fuel pressure comes back now that it's got a couple gallons of fuel in it. To go over to where it looks at. There we go. There you go. Let's see. So that's on. It does want just sitting here though. That's what happened the first time. If it's not on high fan, it will not maintain just sitting here. But there's no airflow really going through here. I mean, that's a pretty heavy load that I'm putting on it, and it was just upset. Let's see if we can get her start here. I'll put her in neutral. Be nice. right, sir. Has your chassis dyno experience been a good one? So, yep. See? Oh, see that's the normal kind of answer you get out of town. Yep.
No, so it looked like whatever cruising. You had it to where it was running between 12 to 1300 EG.
1350.
So
And that's a reasonable load. I was like driving uphill kind of load. Sounded like it, it definitely was running hard. So, and like I said, in the car, it goes in neutral. The drive is nice. It's not stumbling there. It, if it sits in neutral for a long time and then you pop it into drive with foot brake or with brake on, it will hunt down there for a second and then comes back up and it's fine. But neutral drives.
So,
are
but
real good.
contrary to what you normally think, you made it lean to get it to cool down.
Yeah, and then
Versus fat, because
then I-
normally you put more fuel at it to try and get it to run cooler.
yeah, no, that always backfires. And it's got 45 degrees timing here.
So
Yeah, so boatload of timing in it to make it do that too. And it don't care. It's a, it's a, it's a 10-to-1 pump gas engine. They don't freaking care.
right,
I don't, I mean, it's not that big a deal. With a really slow chamber in it. So, but anyways, it don't care. I see. That turbo's just a tick oily too, but yeah, I mean everything seems to be fine. And oh yeah, that number 5 EGT is too far down. That thing's probably touching the backside of the tube.
gotcha.
So number 5 is reading just a little bit colder on here, but EGT placement is real critical. So you got a pipe like that, and your EGT needs to be there, not there, and not there. Needs to be just sticking in the pipe right side. So yeah, that's all good. And
Well, and the
every
other-
every time it did this water thing, it was my fault because they either didn't have both fans on, no fans on, no water pump on. So disregard all that stuff.
Got some good heat cycles in it.
Some heat cycles on it, yeah. That's all good. Pressures are all good. Everything looks good. So
no, we were at the situation like under load. Under load, if you weren't careful, you'd be 1600 EGTs. So
No trailer.
yeah, no trailer, but like you just let it idle or whatever, and you could get it to go down. But like you definitely couldn't cruise. You weren't able to cruise at 80 without it running 1600 EGTs. So
I don't think we're gonna be there, but for sure. And then now it'll, as soon as you put it in neutral, the thing cools off fast because it goes down and it's like 900 degrees, like that. So, it's good there. I think everything's ready to rock and roll.
cool. No, that was our last thing. I mean, get it down to Florida, do a little
Yeah.
bit of testing with it, but like that's.
Yeah.
We got the track stuff. We think we're pretty straight with the track. Just want to make sure we're.
How
straight with
fast
the
does
street
it go?
track. So
How fast does it go? How fast have you been?
goes
Like a
as-
bracket car?
It goes as fast as it needs to go.
Oh my gosh. It goes as fast as it needs to go to be faster than everybody else.
So
Right now.
yeah, we were bracket last time it was out. It was a bracket 570 car at 260. So
263.
yeah, well that was the
That's the NHRA record.
NHRA door car record.
Door car record.
So I did see that. I see Taylor went 525 earlier today out of it. 525 at 225 miles an hour.
He was way up.
So
Dang.
Per hour drops. What up?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get off.
Yeah.
but yeah, so maybe that would be a 4-second.
Maybe.
Hey, and what kind of tires does he have? Radials or does he have big tires?
We just talked about this because he said he's going to go faster on
Radials.
radials. He said
Well, you can always go faster on radials, but in perfect conditions.
in
on
perfect.
flat
It is.
paper.
It is. It's in perfect conditions.
So
I'd have to see his pass. It must have been, considering where his 337 pass, what that looked like.
oh, and it was,
And if he lifted on this one, it must have been really out of shape because holy cow.
no, they said I saw the video a little bit ago. Like it just said that was their first time taking it out the back, so they were just taking it easy. So it probably when it's 3 whatever to the 8th, and then he probably got out of it at 1,000 foot or something through the chutes. So to bleed off that much mile per hour, because it would have coasted to
Yeah.
high 2s if the chutes weren't out. But
Yeah.
like But the fact that that's 525, so that's a door car record right there. So, but it'd be crazy if he gets a 4.
That would be insane. That is such
Be
a
cool
big
as
hurdle.
hell, but
Yep. That's driving. It's got to go, but at 337. Yeah, but see if it'd have to go 1817. It'd have to go like 16 in the back to do that.
which isn't that hard. I mean, this is like this piece of cake.
This goes 19,
Yeah, 1.8.
18.
So we've been 1.8
That's
on
a bad mother trucker. But this does back half really good. But
well, because it weighs
Yeah, but-
so much. Like we don't get the front, we don't get the 60
we don't
foot.
get the front half because it weighs.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Or 60
compared to
foot's
everybody
horrible
else.
because it weighs too much.
Yeah.
But once it gets rolling, oh yeah, no, it's like that's what that extra
making a lot of
oil's
power.
for, or whatever. It's got to make some extra lube in there, or
Extra
whatever, to keep
lube.
the power going. So
18. So 570, 380. No, that's 19.
so, but I've been 390, 570.
Even 390, 570? 390, 570. Yeah, that's 18. So we're talking about 1 point. That's how many if you don't understand what we're talking about, that's just how many seconds it takes you to go from the 1/8 mile to the 1/4 mile. So like 2.0 is like, that's a fast car. Like that's fast. 1.9 is like
And picks up
insanely
60
fast.
miles an hour, which is a lot.
And pick up 60 mile an hour. Yeah, that's in the back half. Yeah, those are really, that's really fast. That's really making a lot of power. Nothing to like what Frankie's doing, but hey, that freaking car can't drive off the parking lot
Exactly. Go to
and
McDonald's.
without overheating because there is no water in it.
He's not working on his street too.
He's not working on this. He's not doing this.
He does not forget to turn his fan and
He
water
doesn't have
pumps
to
on.
worry about turning his water pump and fan on because there's no water in it. That's it. We're rolling out. All done. So, Lord willing, this thing's rolling. It's good. Next thing you'll be seeing is testing and this has always been and always will be a really hard car to compete with. So it is the car. So I'm Steve Morris. You are
Tom Bailey.
Aiden Bailey.
Nate, the camera guy. Have a great day. It's no wagon, but it's still pretty cool.